It's Sunday morning on CBS, and here again is Mo Rocca.
The Olympic Games get underway later this week in Paris, where many of the world's greatest athletes will go for the gold. This morning, senior contributor Ted Koppel introduces us to a woman who won't be among the competitors, though she's a champion just the same.
Florence Meiler, known throughout Vermont and beyond as Flo, is a regular feature on Burlington High School's athletic fields. Her little red wagon is loaded with some of the gear she'll need to train for an upcoming decathlon. Let that sink in for a moment. Flo, who lacks any support staff, is training to compete in 10 events over 2 days. That will include the hurdles, the shot put, the discus, the javelin, the 100 meters, the 400 meters, and 1,500 meters. Before she can even practice the high jump, or the long jump, or the pole vault, she has to pull back the tarp that protects each of these venues against the weather. She'll put it all back when she's done. As for the actual jumps, let's put things in their proper perspective. Did I mention Flo's age?
There, I got it.
On this particular morning in May, she is still 89 years old.
Yoo-hoo!
All right.
I did it!
So keep in mind as you watch Flo vault and jump to relatively modest heights
Look at the sky, because that helps you throw it further.
that many people her age can use a little help just getting out of an armchair.
Now, you're not a big woman across the,
No, I'm
across
not.
the shoulder, but it must require a lot of strength.
But you know,
Just
being
to
brought
leverage?
up on a farm, I
Yeah,
was used
you're
to lifting up these heavy, hay
Bales,
bales.
yes. So you're
I had a
you're,
lot of muscles.
You're strong. I'm not going to take you on, Flo. Don't worry about it. It's
Flo is
And then
an
I fell.
extraordinary athlete.
What's a good distance for me to be beyond where you're going to land?
Oh, you're safe.
well, not that safe.
Sometimes I warm
With
up
the
by
proper training and coaching 60 or 70 years ago, she might have attained Olympic caliber.
Yes.
Wow, I did it! I won all these medals in Poland.
The window frames and walls of the lakeside home that she and Gene, her husband of 64 years, occupy groan under the weight of her accomplishments.
How many of these medals you got?
Oh, about 1,500, I think. Quite a few.
Do we have to open up a Flo Meiler Memorial Hall?
Probably.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe Flo's senior track and field career only began
Hello.
30 years ago.
I was playing tennis with my husband.
Yeah.
It was the Vermont Senior Games, and Barbara Jordan, my best friend, said, Flo, we're desperate for track people. I would like you to come and try the long jump. You know, I'm saying, Barb, are you kidding me? I'm 60 years old. And she said, oh, yeah, you'd be good at it.
Which brings us to a blistering hot weekend at the end of June in Charlottesville, Virginia, the site of the USA Masters Combined Events Championship, which includes the women's decathlon. It's 99 degrees in the shade. The actual temperature of the track, almost 142 degrees. 13 women are competing across all different age categories. A few weeks ago, Flo celebrated her 90th birthday. Flo's competition in the 90 to 94 category? Nobody.
I was thinking the Olympics are going to be in late July
Yeah.
in Paris. I don't know if it's going to be as hot as this, but it's going to be hot. That's pretty brutal, isn't it?
Boy, oh boy, I'm really pushing for the ladies' decathlon, I'll tell you. If I can do this at 90, we have a lot of other ladies who can do it in their 20s,
Damn right.
right?
Yeah, absolutely.
What Flo is referring to is the fact that there is no decathlon for women at the Olympic Games. The winner of the men's decathlon is widely considered the greatest athlete in the world.
Set.
Women, they have to make do with a 7-event alternative called the heptathlon.
So, you're pissed.
I am. That's an understatement.
Why?
Women still aren't allowed to do this event at the international level. There's no women's decathlon at the World Championships, Olympic Games, and that's a problem.
Lauren Kuntz, herself a decathlete, is also part of a growing movement to overcome the one hurdle that keeps women from competing in the decathlon in international competition.
Historic sexism. There was a belief really early on in track and field that women were not able to do a lot of the events. And all of that individually has been proven wrong. Like one of the big ones was women are too weak to pole vault. They don't have the upper body strength. Women have been pole vaulting in the Olympics now since 2000. The one last event that women still are not allowed to do is the decathlon.
World Athletics is the governing body that could change that.
The answer we tend to get is current heptathletes like the heptathlon, and we don't want to get rid of that. And it's basically a one or the other. And the response we always give is, well, the young women, the younger generation, they're the ones that want to do a decathlon, and like phase it out then, right? Like set a date, set it 2028 or 2032 and say this is when we're transitioning. Everybody has enough time to make adjustments.
When did you do your first decathlon?
2 years ago when I was 13.
15-year-old Sophie Knudson says she took up the decathlon because her father and brother were doing it.
Explain to an audience that may not have any idea of just how rough it is. What is so difficult about the decathlon?
You just go from one event to another. It's like physically hard on your body because you're just doing a lot, but it's also mentally, like if you do bad in one event, it's hard to, pick yourself back up and go to the next.
Which event do you worry about the most? Do you worry at all?
The 1500.
The 1500, I don't blame
I
you.
wouldn't worry about it if it wasn't hot, but it's going to be so hot. The heat just zaps you.
On this second day of the decathlon, before the 1500, Flo has done the hurdles, the discus, the javelin, and the pole vault. 90-year-old Flo in slow-mo. But it won't qualify as a world record until referee Bruce Wilson says so.
When Flo jumped 113, I grabbed the measuring stick and instantly another official and I measured it with a steel tape to verify that it was 113.
Right.
And we'll put that in writing, and photographs, send it to the appropriate officials, and they will verify it.
Bottom line is what?
My understanding is Flo is the world record holder for a 90-year-old at pole vault, 113. She's having a good day.
She's having a great day.
What a good coach.
When I'm 90, I have something to go for.
On your marks.
What is so demoralizing about the decathlon, especially on a day like this, when it feels like way above 100 degrees, is that final event, the 1,500 meters. 4 times around the track, a shade under a mile. Flo only has to complete the race. There's no one in her age group even competing. She can walk it. And for the first 3 laps, she does. And then when she comes around that last turn, other women decathletes line up behind Flo in sort of an honor guard. And in a final burst of energy, Florence Meiler runs the last 100 meters of the women's decathlon. There will not be a women's decathlon when the Paris Olympics get underway in a few days.
In the women's 90 to 94-year-old age group.
But 4 years from now,
Florence Meiler.
2028 in Los Angeles? Who knows?